The following show is a paid program. This show is brought to you by CH Global Financial Services.
Hey family, what's up? Man, I'm so excited about today. I have a great friend of mine on. His name is Dr. Casuel Pitts. He is a celebrity entrepreneur. And on today, we're going to be talking about what will it take for the Black America to be a strong economic community. Hey, Dr. Pitts, how you doing, my friend?
I am doing amazing, Cam.
Wow.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I am
I'm
too.
excited and ignited.
I love when Dr. Pitts is here because I know for sure we're going to get all the information that we need. Celebrity entrepreneur, he is the best in the business. He has several businesses, and I'll let him speak on those too. Dr. Pitts.
Absolutely. So, I'm just honored, Cam, again. For me, every time you have me, I never like to talk about me only because I'm for the people. I really want to be able to help people in any and everything that they do. I just like to use myself as a light to those individuals who may say that, hey, I don't have it, or, I want to get to it or get to that point. So I'm definitely honored. Definitely want to give it back to you, sir, for having a platform for us. I'll just keep it safe, having a platform.
Thank you.
So it's individuals like yourself that keeps me going and keeps me fueled. Definitely want to give it back to God as regards to me owning and operating 9 amazing companies, because if it wasn't for him showing me how to structure business and how to go about entrepreneurship, I don't know where I would be at, Cam. So, I just love to say, look, I'm a successful entrepreneur. I love entrepreneurship. I breathe it. I eat it every day.
Yes.
I don't see myself retiring ever. So I'm here to stay.
Absolutely. I love when you come onto the show because each and every time we always so helpful. I've had so many people ask me, where's Dr. Pitts? You got to bring him back on. And I said, I absolutely do. That's my friend. We always talk about the Black community. We always speak about that, myself and you. And we always talk about the thing that bothers me, and I know you the most, is when we see that our dollar only stays in our community 6 hours. Asian community, 28 days. Jewish community, 19 days. That hurts me. Our dollar doesn't even circulate in our own businesses for a whole day.
Yeah. Cam, and here, what the solution to that is?
Yeah.
The real solution is, why don't we find out what the Asian community is doing?
Yes.
Find out what the Jewish community is doing and mimic those principles.
Right.
And that's the thing. We have to be disciplined enough. And that's the reason why their dollar stays in their communities for 28 days and 19 days, because they understand not just how to work with one another, but the discipline that they have with each other, and understanding the economical value of what the dollar is, what it can do for the community, what it can do for the economy, what it can do for the environment. So they understand these principles. And I think that where we start at is we start to marry the principles that the individuals have put in place, like the Asian community and the Jewish community. Start putting those principles in place and take those principles and apply them to our own, and starting there to discipline ourselves to understand how valuable the dollar can be within our communities.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Statistically, in 2018 and 2019, we spent over $1 trillion ourselves. It's 48 million of us, African Americans, statistically, that's written down through the Nielsen report, out of 330 million Americans in America today. So let's talk about that. Over $1 trillion we spent ourselves each year.
Ooh, Cam, when I hear that number in my mind, right, and we can honestly say, Cam, that out of that 48 million, we got some millionaires in there. We got some billionaires in there, right?
Absolutely.
So I ain't gonna toot my own horn, Cam, but I'm gonna just say that I'm in that level. So when
Yeah.
I hear that number, $1 trillion a year, and when you divide that 48 million divided by that 1 trillion, Cam, that's literally $20,000 annually that each individual would have to spend to equal that $1 trillion. And now let's use this from a mathematical equation, Cam. Like I literally researched organizations, franchises that you can purchase for $1 million and under. And these are franchises that you can purchase, Cam, that can generate anywhere between 100 to 500,000, from 500,000 to $1 million annually if you follow the process that the plan has laid out within the franchise. So if you think about that, Cam, if we just came together and utilized our dollars to just get a franchise like the Hispanic community does, if we can take that money and get a franchise and then you're talking about 48 million people having franchises, Cam. If you think $1 trillion would be the number that we would have, oh my God. If we just took that concept, that small, and that's just one little concept where everybody can come together. Cam, we'll have these political meetings. We'll have these church gatherings. But one of the gatherings I've never seen us have is a financial gathering.
Right. That's true.
How about we start creating these groups of individuals that would love to, and I'm talking about, Cam, you and I both know the credit industry. But could you imagine, Cam, and you and I both know this we already know that cash is king, but credit is power. And I want to establish how powerful credit can be, because here's the thing. If I walk into a bank with an 800 credit score, Cam, they'll be nice to me. They'll give me, what I need, and there won't be any issues. But Cam, imagine 75 people dressed in black suits drive up in black cars to a bank, and every last one of them walk into the bank with an 800 credit score. How much powerful would that be, Cam?
Absolutely.
See, we're not thinking like that, right? Because it's like, I need to get to an 800. But in the Bible, it tells you that one can chase 1,000, but two can chase 10,000.
Exactly.
So imagine, Cam, what 75 can do with an 800 credit score, walking into a bank and say, we need a $450 million loan.
Right.
So it's so easy for us to literally go to into our communities, help our people understand the financial. Now here it is, Cam. It's not even financial literacy. It's financial structure.
Ooh.
It's financial structure. Because evidently we've been using the word literacy for so long, people just don't understand that term.
Right.
So let's remove it. Let's remove literacy and let's use financial structure.
Right.
Because now one of the things I know for a fact that we can all understand is structure.
Yes.
And if we change the way how we spend money, how we save money, how we focus on what's a need and not a want, and sacrifice our wants more so with our needs, we would be so much more far ahead of the industry when it comes to I would even put us past the Asian community and say 30 days the dollar will stay within our community. And we will understand financial structure. And why do I say 30 days, Cam? Is because if you look at everything that we touch, it's great. Basketball, football, boxing. I need to continue to keep going on.
Absolutely. I love it. When we say buy the block, we in our minds think about a block. We really could buy a neighborhood.
A city, an island, Cam. Even an island.
We're thinking small.
Cam, I researched. Listen, do you know, Cam, they have islands for $3.5 million, $35 million, Cam. And you're talking about we spent $1 trillion a year. Cam, we got enough money to buy an island. We got enough money to buy a community. We already have established the footprint is there. The proof is there. We don't have to go and reinvent the wheel. This has been for how long now, Cam, that we've been spending $1 trillion on an annual basis? Imagine how many millionaires we could have birthed within our communities alone if we just use that one small concept of franchise. You know where we fail at, Cam? It's called, we allow the spirit of greed to enter into our mindsets. We'll have the mindset of where we want to go. But then when greed kicks in, it shifts us. Greed shifts us, man. It shifts us to a different direction. It shifts us to a different mentality. We pretend and become somebody that we were never meant to be in the first place. Like, Cam, honestly, I don't think that no human being should ever be at a place to where they can't be touched or can't be called upon or can't be reached or can't be, Cam. There's only one. There's only one, Cam. There's only one, and that's God himself. I'm sorry, so, it plays a major role when it comes to the financial structure that we have to maintain.
And when we say financial freedom, I mean, you talk about financial freedom so vividly. You're not under the constraints of speedy cash, payday loans, high interest rates on cars, 26%, 13%, 18%. And let me put it in layman's terms just a little bit. Had a client of mine, do real estate, do credit, all of it. Her car note was $575 on a Honda, on a Toyota Corolla. $575. Had another client of mine, had a Mercedes, 1.9%. He was in the E class, high, 442. Different cars, one higher, but the interest is higher on hers. They live by interest. Because of the credit, like you were saying. Let's talk about credit and how credit can free you.
Man, Cam, like, we have been speaking this language for so long. I commend you, I commend my wife, I commend myself, and everybody else who is in the credit repair industry, because it's not an easy task when, here's the thing, Cam, me and my wife spoke about this not too long ago. We'll get these clients that'll say, I want to get my credit fixed. Okay, it costs this much. And they'll say, is that much? Well, wait a minute. So let me ask you, what's your end goal? Well, I'm trying to buy a house and I'm trying to buy a car. So you mean to tell me $100 a month is too much? You're asking me, is that too much? But you do know how much your mortgage is going to be, right? You do know how much your car note is going to be, right? So if you can't afford $100, let's stop really quickly and find out, what are you really doing this for? Because the first thing that you just say, Cam, is how much is it and when do I need to pay? It should be that simple. Now, I'm not saying it has to be an outlandish price or a car note, but it took you years, Cam, to mess this up. And then you want me to come in and you want me to do a magical miracle. And you want me to get this done within 30 days or 45 days and 90 days. I really don't understand the mindset of where individuals can think that it can happen that fast, but it took you so many years to mess it up. So, Cam, when it comes to even understanding credit, it's about a mindset. First of all, it's not going to happen overnight. You got to understand that some of the items that you have on your report may be so stubborn that it may take us 6 months to almost a year to even get that removed. Because of how stubborn that item is, because it has been continuously reporting on a monthly basis or a monthly basis or whatever the case may be. So I think that where we started with credit repair, Cam, is the education of getting the consumer to understand what it actually takes to start the process. And really getting them to understand, let's take out of their mind, how long is this going to take? Because my rebuttal to that question is, when was the last time you had an 800 credit score? And if you tell me never, then you don't need to ask me how long this is going to take.
Absolutely. I agree.
You don't even need to talk about how long it's going to take. If you've never been at an 850 before, Because here, and the reason why I asked that question, Cam, because if you ever been at an 850 before, you know how long it took you to get there. So that you
Exactly.
would never ask
Exactly.
me that question if you
Exactly.
already been there. You wouldn't even ask me how long it's going to take you to get there.
Exactly.
It's get involved, get educated, follow the plan that I'm going to lay out for you, and until we get there,
Right.
however long it takes, because I can almost guarantee you, especially when I'm dealing with somebody who's in their 40s or 50s, I'm going to say for the last 20 years, Cam, for the last 20 years, your credit's been shot.
Yeah.
You've been living. You've been living, Cam.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to take 20 years.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is you have to be mentally prepared to go through whatever you want to go through if you want your credit. If you think 850 is worth you waiting a year or 2 years or even 3 years to get, and I'm not saying, Cam, that it's going to take that long, but I'm saying if it's worth that to you, then let's move past that question and move to what's the plan of action.
Absolutely.
That should be the most important question when you're picking up clients. They should say, "Hey, Cam, so what is the plan of action here?"
Right.
I'm not worried about the cost because I know it's a cost to it. So we got that out of the way. That's the X. What is the plan of action? Because I don't need to know how long it's going to take because for the last 10 years, my credit has been shot anyway. Right. So what is the plan of action? What tools are you going to equip me with so I can get to the 850 marketplace? What do I need to do, Cam? Give me the instruction because you're the expert. This is what you do. Give me what I need so I can be a success and be a success testimony in this journey.
Absolutely.
Simple,
absolutely. Absolutely. That's it. That's it. We were talking about the credit. We're talking about our spending. We are microwavable and we want it now. We want it right now. We don't care what the price is. We want it now. If you tell us we cannot have it, we're going to buy 2 of them. We're going to buy 2. Just because you said I couldn't have it. How do we talk to people about waiting? It's time to wait. That's what the discipline is. Wait. Discipline. Wait.
Mindset, Cam.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time.
Yes.
It's the mindset. And thanks to the fast food industry, so I don't want to mention no names, we're on TV. Thanks to the fast food industry, it has manipulated the concept of microwave.
Ooh.
Right?
Right now.
Also, Cam, thank you to the microwaves that are in the home.
Yes.
That also has stimulated quick.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, when as a parent, when we move from cooking things with a cast iron stove, Cam, when you got to put the biscuits underneath, right? Yeah. And then technology progresses to where now you got the non-gas stoves, and you can control things. Then technology progresses even more to where now you can microwave industry, right? Wow. Now, Cam, watch how technology progresses even more. Now we got the air fryers, Cam. Right. So what I'm saying is that we're moving at a microwavable pace, so the expectation of these things should be microwavable. Right because now. We think that when we spend the money, when we go to a certain stores and we spend the money, it's a fair exchange. I'm paying for my groceries. Yes. I'm paying for my TV. I'm paying for my car. So when I pay for something, I'm receiving something. So that has been the formal of exchange. So the normality for a consumer to think that when I take money off of my card or out of my pocket, I am immediately supposed to get something back in exchange. Yes. And not understanding that everything doesn't work like that. Yes. Everything doesn't work like that, Cam. You will pay a traffic ticket for however long you have to pay that ticket in order for you to get your license back. It's called a process, Cam. And the thing about it is that we put ourselves through the process, but we don't have the mindset to wait for the outcome. Ooh. And a lot of our resources and our tools are right in front of our face. And you said it, Cam, when you started. Patience and discipline. Cam, I tell all my clients, Cam, whether they believe in God or not, I need you to go pick up the Bible and read the book of Job. Let's
Ooh.
start there. Let's start there. Read that first. And then I want you to tell me what your takeaway was. I don't care if you don't believe, but it's a story. I want you to read the story and tell me what your takeaway was. And it's always the same concept, Cam. Patience, patience, patience. We have it to teach it.
Wow.
You don't have the right teachers to teach it.
When we come back, we're going to talk more to Dr. Casual Pitts. Wow.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection, only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago inside an abandoned chicken coop where our founder discovered a retired teacher living, no home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP, creating real possibilities.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey, family, we are back with Dr. Casual Pitts. Dr. Pitts, man, oh my God. When we were talking about microwavable and how we're thinking and how we're spending and things like that, and you were talking about patience and about the Bible and Job. Let's extend that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cam, I think that, it's key when they say reading is fundamental.
Ooh.
And even add extra to that, it becomes fundamental when you really understand what you're reading.
Yeah.
And that's the key. Probing the summary of something so somebody can really grasp the concept as to the reason why they would want to read this particular message, right? It's almost like, Cam, when you want to watch a movie, they have a trailer that pops up first before the actual movie comes out, just so it can entice you, right? And I think that what makes reading that much more fundamental is we can just start summarizing what a person should read or where they should go in a direction. And I'll say it again, the book of Job will teach you and educate you about patience. And there's another thing. You can't have patience and not have discipline, Cam.
Right.
You can't have one or the other. You got to have both, Cam. You got to have both. A lot of individuals ask me, Cam, how is it that I manage 9 companies? It's because I've mastered time management and organization. Those are two things that go hand in hand.
Right.
So it's the same thing with patience, Cam. You got to have patience and you got to have discipline. So what am I saying? I'm saying that once you understand what patience is and what patience can do for your life, you then have to transition and learn and master discipline and understand what discipline can do for your life. Because I promise you, Cam, having those two elements and incorporating them into your finances, which is what we're talking about, right? When you incorporate the patience and the discipline in your finances, you go from the mindset, Cam, to say, maybe I need to get a cash card now and fix my credit, get it where it needs to be, so I can walk into the dealership and tell them what I want versus them telling me what I need.
Exactly. Exactly. Ooh.
Cam, it's called buying. Cam, do you know every time I walk into an establishment, they never get the opportunity to say, sir, so how can I help you today? I already know what I want.
Exactly. You
And I'm
already
gonna tell
know.
you exactly how I want it and what I and by the way, I don't even need you to run my credit because I've already got a pre-approval
There you
check
go.
right here from my bank already.
Right.
And has already given me a blank check. So I'm gonna take this car in this color with these particular amenities on it, and I would love to have it in 5 days. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in 5 days. Damn, that's buying power. Let me tell you how powerful credit is, Cam. And I have to give a shout out to Barry Ward, who's an individual who also understands credit. But me and my wife were renewing our vows in Hawaii, Cam. I made the phone call over the phone.
Okay, you got to go back to that. You just threw that out there. You just threw that in there for us. You just threw that in. How you say that? Say it again. Say it for the people to hear. You just threw that in. Don't do that like that to us. You just threw that in. So go back to what you said. You had to do what?
we renew our vows. We renewed our vows in Hawaii.
Okay.
Me and my wife did.
Okay.
Yeah, me and my wife renewed our vows in Hawaii. And Cam, in Hawaii, I called over the phone and told them exactly what kind of car I wanted, what I wanted to have on it, and to make sure that it was ready by the time we got back from Hawaii. Cam, the very next day that when we stayed in Hawaii for 8 days, when we got back, Cam, the car was ready for us to go pick up. Signed the paperwork, it was done. That's power.
Done.
Cam, we went in there for no long time period of time. It was done, Cam. Done, Cam. And thanks to Gary Ward again, I got to give a shout out to, and he's my uncle, by the way. But however, just keeping it professional, he was an individual who understood the credit game a little bit more than me, Cam. And that's the thing. Us that are in the credit industry, Cam, we try to we have this. It seems like we have a chip on our shoulder, like we have to take full credit or full responsibility.
Right.
Cam, you know, I got people who do credit that ask me to fix their credit, Cam.
Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, I don't care who fix it. Just get it done.
Exactly.
Get it fixed. Get it done, because again, cash is king, credit is power. And if you want to have power of how we take back our African American communities, or how we start to buy the block back, or how we go into changing the trajectory of politics.
Right.
So let's start with our credit first. Let's start having some buying power, and not only just having the credit, but utilizing it to the advantage of where we're helping others.
Wow.
And that's it, Cam. That's it right there.
That's it.
Because again, it's a difference when you say, hey, can you add me to the loan or add me to your credit card as an authorized user?
Yes.
So as you're building your credit, my credit, Cam, you know, me and my wife put our kids on our credit cards.
Wow.
Just so their credit can be exactly where it needs to be as they get older.
Right.
Teaching them about financial structure.
Yes. And also, we're looking at, and this is what I see on credit. You've bought a suit, and you've bought a suit with your credit card, your 26% credit card. You've bought that suit 5 times by the time you paid that suit up, that credit card off, because of the interest on that credit card.
Yep. Interest on the credit card.
The interest on the credit card. When you have great credit, they giving you points. They're telling you, hey, you can come, the perks that they give you, the lounges if you're trying to go to the airport. Mr. Hill, come to the lounge. We got food and we got this and we got that. When I had a 400 score, they didn't talk to me. I couldn't buy gum, man. The power of credit. The power of credit.
Yeah.
The power of credit. You're right. Let's talk to people again more about utilizing the money that they receive. Okay? They've already taken my taxes out of my check. They've already taken, everything else out of my check. Now this is the amount I receive. What should I do with that money that I have now? I just received my check.
So the first thing, of course, Cam, the discipline comes in where of course you want to take care of making sure that the house is, and what I
Yes.
mean by that is, making sure you have your necessities as far as for your cleaning necessities, your food necessities,
Yes.
all of those things. So let's just say that we've got all of that calculation out of the way and it's under control.
Right.
We'll take what we receive, Cam, and our first mindset goes to, I need to get some new shoes.
Yep.
I need to get some new clothes.
Yep.
I need to get a new watch or
Yep.
a new purse, or we'll think about all of the other things that we can buy, but we never think about what we can invest in.
Ooh.
Because an investment causes you to invest into something, to put your money in a place
Yes.
where you might not be able to see it for the next 6 to 8 months.
Right.
This is the reason why we spoke about how important it is to be patient and to be disciplined.
Yes.
Because Cam,
Yes.
here's the thing. I look at and my boys had a great lesson last night, and I'm so glad that they made the decision that they made. But it was a test, and the test was, do you want shoes that equals out to be no more than $150, or do you want cash of $50? And they said, so the value of the shoes is more, but you're willing to give me the $50 in cash. They said, well, we'll take the cash.
Yes.
And see, I'm redesigning how you think, because that's what I want you to do. I don't want you to think that because you see something that may be a want, because that's what it is, Cam. All of these things that we do in society, it's a want. We want this. We want the nice suit. We want the nice shoes. We want to have the nice purse. Instead of saying that if I invest this money and it doubles or it triples or it quadruples, my bank account then says, oh, you can go and buy that purse.
Yes.
You owe it to yourself.
Yes.
See, our bank accounts, we don't live how our bank accounts reflect us to live, Cam.
Right.
We like to live and say, well, I worked hard. I worked 40 hours a week, 80 hours a week. I deserve to treat myself. Yeah, you do. With a pecan pie and some ice cream on the side. That's what you need to treat yourself to.
Right.
Not blowing your money on things that's not going to be a benefit to not just you, but to your family. But yet and still, we have the mentality of saying, I want to leave a legacy. How? And you don't even understand what financial structure is.
Right. And you talk about that. You talk about real estate. You talk about things that you can do. You have a label, a record label. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, Karen. So independent record label is one of my companies.
Yes.
And what we do differently, Cam, is we teach the local artists,
yes.
And even some of the well-known artists about the business side of the artists, right?
Yes.
You'll get a lot of these artists who do music, and that's great. They have a manager that does the because you want to show off and become the man or the woman of the hour,
yes.
the moment. Invest that money. That's why I have so much respect for LeBron James, is because what he has done with what he's doing with his value and his worth, he's putting it back into the communities by doing what?
Right.
He bought a school. He owns a school. And if you look at the numbers of that school, those kids are accelerating at a high level. Why? It's because he is meeting them where they are. He is teaching them that school is teaching those kids the things that they're going to need to utilize in society. They're going to talk about financial literacy. They're going to talk about how to invest. They're going to talk about entrepreneurship. So we have to really take hone on what we're trying to create. So that's what the artist world, our independent record label, does, is it teaches those artists how they can understand business, because a lot of them don't, and they don't understand entrepreneurship. They don't understand how big of a brand that they are. I've dealt with a lot of celebrities, Cam, they'll say this, Cam, oh, I'm so afraid to mess up my brand. If you have built your brand strong enough, and if people believe in who you are, mistakes are going to happen. Things are going to happen. So you have to And it kind of gets to me a little bit, Cam, because I get it, but then I don't get it, right? Because for me, it's like I'm not trying to be politically correct. Right. You're either gonna like me or you're not gonna like me. Yes, I may say some things that you may not agree with, and that is okay. Why? Because I'm human just like you. I'm no different than you are. Yeah. So now, if it hurts you to the point where you need to leave me from, being a follower or being a supporter, that is a-okay. Why, Cam? Is because my life does not live off likes or hearts or support system. My life lives off how God directs me. And for me, because he orders my steps, I'm not relying on man to make who I am or make me or to make my success in my business. I don't rely on men to do that, Cam. I rely on God. So I just have a different perspective of how I go about things.
I love your perspective about that and other things. You talk about crabs in the bucket differently. When all of us say, many people say, crabs in the bucket, pull you. Let people hear your version and how
allows you to kind of travel in different realms, right? And one of the things that I was able to do was I studied the crab first and foremost. And when I studied the crab, Cam, I understood what the crab does and what its lifestyle and habitat is. And if you pay attention, Cam, you've seen a lot of these different TV shows, and they'll see, I think somewhere in Florida where there's a season where a bunch of the crabs come off the sea and they're all over the road. But if you pay attention, Cam, those crabs are moving in unison. They're moving in whatever direction. Whoever is leading them, they're following. And they're just moving in unison, right, Cam? So when you look at it, when you take crabs out of their environment and you dump them into an environment that they're not familiar with, immediately they already recognize that this is not my environment. So the objective is to get out of that environment. So as that first crab, Cam, is going out or trying to climb out of the bucket, the remaining crabs, Cam, are following the leader. So the concept is, it's not that they're pulling each other down, Cam. It's that they're following their habitat. They're following their environment, because in their mind, they're saying that if this one leader gets out of the bucket and I'm latched on, I'm going to also tip out of the bucket as well. So sometimes we have to stop looking at our situations that people are trying to pull us down. They're trying to hold on because they don't have no direction. They're looking at you to be their leader. And that's the thing. We want to be leaders, Cam, but we don't want to do what it takes to become a leader. We don't want to lead the people like a Dr. Martin Luther King or a Malcolm X. And people always say, why do you keep referring to them? Because you got to pay attention to who they were. Cam, I was just telling my wife this the other day. Anytime a man can walk out of the jail system and do this, Cam, and the whole unit moves, that's what you call a leader, Cam. And we're not talking about a local leader. I'm not talking about your local politicians, your local governors, the local mayors. No, I'm talking about somebody who leads the nation. And I'm not talking about the president, Cam, because neither of these individuals were presidents. These were two individuals that didn't speak to just their community, they didn't speak locally, they spoke to the world. And the world, Cam. And that's the thing. We as leaders, we hinder ourselves, or we plateau ourselves to become community leaders or economical leaders. But we don't never put ourselves in the platform. Like myself, Cam, I am considered to be the #1 entrepreneur in the world. That's my motto. And I'm not talking about my local community. I'm talking about changing lives all over the world. So that's my concept, Cam.
We'll be right back with my friend, Dr. Casual Pitts. We'll be right back with Dr. Casual Pitts.
We'll be right back to the Cam Hill Show after these messages.
Just tell
When it comes to protecting yourself and your partners, all the information out there can be overwhelming. Visit our website. We are a free and confidential service striving to help you stay informed and stay notified. We are committed to a healthy Houston.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. Drive the new 2020 Cadillac XT4, only $399 a month, or the new 2020 XT5, only $429 a month, both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase the XT4 or XT5 and enjoy 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
Our story begins more than 60 years ago, inside an abandoned chicken coop, where our founder discovered a retired teacher living. No home, no health care. So she said no to this injustice, and yes to transforming lives. It's this drive, this compassion that inspired AARP. Today, we empower people to choose how they live as they age. We advocate for health and financial security. We strengthen communities everywhere. We are AARP, creating real possibilities.
Houston's only Cadillac to your door dealer, Ron Carter Cadillac, delivers test drives to your home or office. For a limited time, get $16,000 off all in-stock Cadillac 2019 XT5 crossovers and $19,000 off all in-stock 2019 CT6 sedans. Or experience the first ever 2020 Cadillac XT6 Premium Luxury Collection, only $519 with $1 down for 39 months lease. Or purchase and receive 0.9% APR for 72 months with no payments until November. RonCarterCadillac.com.
And now back to the Cam Hill Show.
Hey family, I am so glad you're back. Dr. Casual Pitts is with us. And Dr. Pitts, I want you to talk about my favorite part. I spend too. I'm sorry. I do. I spend with Amazon. But you have something great for us with Amazon. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. So I'm honored to even say that my company, one of my companies, I'm Black Back, has partnered with Amazon, and the website is www.imblackback.com. Excuse me. And Cam, here's the thing. Like you said, you already shop at Amazon, so we're not changing that perspective.
Right.
It stays the same. You're already shopping at Amazon. The difference is that you're going to go to buyingblackback.com now and pick your same product and add to the cart issue fix, but you're going to be able to select your products that you need, right? And then all you're going to do when you're ready to check out is going to take you over to your normal checkout page on your actual Amazon account. And what that does, Cam, the purpose of that is that a portion of the dollars that you spend goes to an escrow account where we're able to use that money and go back into the communities and start buying the block back. And I'm excited and happy to even speak about the initiative, Cam, that one of the things that we're doing with our first initiative is we're looking to purchase a national credit union in Columbus, Georgia.
Wow.
So that is what we're doing with our first initiative.
You're buying a credit union. You're purchasing. Sir. You're buying a bank.
Purchasing. Yeah, we're buying the bank. We're buying the bank.
You're buying the bank. So family, let me let you understand what's happened, okay? On the other 2 nights ago, I was going to buy some things off of Amazon, like I do. I'm sorry, I'm in rehab. I'm working on it, okay? I'm working on this, okay? So I was going to buy some things, and I got the notification that a friend was doing a watch party. And I said, I'm going to listen to the watch party. Let me see. So shout out to Miss Diana Patterson for doing the watch party. She started speaking on it, and she said, before you buy on Amazon, wait a minute, I got my card out, I'm ready. So before you buy, go to www.buying, B-U-Y-I-N-G, black, B-L-A-C-K, back.com. Go to that website, I clicked on it, boom, all of the things that I was buying in Amazon were there. The proceeds, once I purchased mine, is going into that escrow account. Family. I felt, man, I was trying to buy some more stuff. I was like, oh, I'm investing. I'm investing in our community. That's really what I felt as I was buying it. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
I was going to buy it anyway. I was buying it anyway. Right? But I really felt, I felt 6'4". Don't be talking about because I'm 5'4". Don't be saying that. I was in my heart. I was feeling 6'4". So anyway, I want to shout out to my friend. But you went to the CEO and talked to them about us.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. You went there for us.
Yeah, absolutely, Cam, because I knew that, it was one of the questions that came up even in our session and even in the prior panels I've been on. What do we do since what took place with the tragedy that took place with George Floyd? What do we do to change and stop some of the things that are going on? And I said, well, one of the ways is we have to buy our blocks back. We have to start buying our community. And how do we do that? So we came up with that concept, Cam, to where we're utilizing this money to go back in and start to buying the block back. Because here's the thing, Cam, if we can take that same number of the $1 trillion that we're spending and the 48 million people spending that money, and you can go into a community, and the majority of the community is owned by African Americans, Cam, it's easy for us now to put one of our own in office, to be able to push some of the initiatives across the board or push some of the concerns that has been being ignored for such of a long time to become addressed. And that's the thing. And I get it. There are so many bigger things in the world that we can focus on, Cam, but there's also smaller things that make a bigger difference.
Right.
And it can help aid some of the bigger things if we stop ignoring some of the smaller things and fix those first, because then we'll have that much more power from the community, that much more power from the people. And, I wish that, as the future president of the United States,
You're looking like it, man. You're looking like it. I see it. I see it, brother. I see it.
I would love to change. I would love to change the colors of the map, red and from red and blue to all black.
There you go.
All black.
All black.
Because we need to stop being divided, and we need to stop being divided.
Yes.
And that's the problem. We have allowed the political parties to divide us as a human race.
Yes.
And we need to stop the division and come together as one, to be able to understand who we are and what we do, how we work, how can we work together, and things of that nature. So, we're looking to take this Buying Black Back platform, and we're looking to spread it all across the world to show love, to show people that we can utilize our dollars. Instead of me going out here, Cam, with a shirt on and asking people for donations, I don't need to do that anymore. You already shop at Amazon. Congratulations. Just go to buyingblackback.com, and a portion of your proceeds now will go towards the community. And you have no worries about if you're going to donate $25 where that money is going.
Right.
You're already going to spend $400 on a deep freezer.
Don't do it.
So go ahead. Go to buyingblackback.com. Use that money there. And then that way a portion of those dollars can actually go back into the community, where you can actually see and say, I have been a part of this movement for this long. And Cam, here's the thing. Even though it's Buying Black Back, we're not setting it out to where we're saying, oh, you can't shop on here. It's not a race entity, Cam.
Right.
We want everybody to go. It's a movement. This is a move. Buying Black Back is a movement, Cam. And we're asking all races of all colors to join the movement, because we're not the only ones tired, Cam. We're asking everybody that's tired to play a part of the movement and the initiative that we're trying to move forward.
I love that. I love that, man. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. If, family, you did not understand or hear what he just said, you're going to spend the money on Amazon anyway. I was going to spend the money on there anyway. The thing about it was that I was being part of a movement. That's what I loved about this thing, is that we were part of a movement. Dr. Casual Pitts, you have so many things in your arsenal that you have been working on for us as a people for a long time. investments, period. And you talk to us about that and you educate us about that. Let's talk about it.
Absolutely, Cam.
Yeah.
So,
investments.
One of my companies, my other companies, Ultimate Discount Services, Inc., we have a platform where we have an investment portfolio that we build for all of our members.
Yes.
And that investment portfolio, Cam, yields our members a gram of gold on an annual basis. Now, I know a lot of people may say, oh, a gram of gold. But then I raised the question to ask, how many listeners are listening today that have access to assets?
Yes.
And Cam, I'm not talking about your house or your car, because if the repo person comes and takes those things,
yes.
it's no longer an asset. It's now a liability.
Right.
So an asset is a precious metal that you can own, that you've invested in. And one of the things that we all know that is true, Cam, is that gold has sustained our United States for quite some time. Right. And it's one of the most precious assets that you can have access to.
Yes.
And one of the things that I love that we did with implementing that program is giving access to an asset to our members. Just for being loyal members, we gift them 1 gram of gold, Cam, for free. And if you think about the value market now,
yes.
because gold right now, 1 gram of gold, Cam, is worth about $80.
Yes.
So if you're given that free, and if you calculate, if you remain a member for X amount of years, and that's how many grams of gold you're accumulating. Not only are you accumulating the grams of gold, Cam, but we also have in the investment portfolio, we give the option to all of our members to purchase additional grams of gold at their leisure.
Right.
So, I'm excited about investments within itself, Cam. You got a lot of different platforms. I definitely want to give a shout out to Manor McClendon, who's in the Texas area. He has a forex trading platform.
Yes.
Right. So there's so many different ways that you can be a part of investing. And I recommend each and every last one of you goes back to the educational piece.
Yes.
I recommend for you to get educated on what investments are, what stocks are, what bonds are, what forex is, what gold, how good is gold, how good is silver. So those are the things that I recommend that you self-educate yourself on when it comes to investments.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. I love that. I also love the fact that you talk about as far as Black-owned businesses. And we speak about that a lot. That in fact, if we utilized and helped each other, we would go up together. We would continue to go up together. We would always do that. And you speak about that. You'll speak about utilizing the dollar. Like we're saying 6 hours for African Americans by utilizing that same dollar within the community. You talk a lot about that. Let's expound on that a little bit.
Absolutely. Cam, it's almost like an investment in a sense. We like to call it compounding your interest. And in this particular perspective, we like to say compounding the business. Yeah. And here's the thing. We have to stop looking at each other as competition.
Yes.
And we have to start focusing on how we can work with one another.
Right.
What metrics allow us to work with one another. Cam, I work with individuals who do the same thing that I do, but yet still we find a way to work with one another.
Right.
It could be because my price points are lower than theirs. Yes. And if they have clients that are looking because they can't afford their price, they'll funnel them through me. And if I find clients who are looking for a more expedited process, I'll funnel them through them. Yes. So we have to find different methods and different ways that we can actually start working together and stop working against one another. And that's how we start to build a more powerful economical business structure or business hub when it comes to entrepreneurship. There's so many different brands and different businesses that us as African Americans have, but we don't know how. I'm changing the trajectory of the word here, Cam. Not criticism. Okay, we're not using the word critiquing. That's the word we're going to use. We don't know how to take constructive critiquing, Cam.
Yes.
We think that when somebody tells us something, we get so emotional. And listen, I was a victim of it. I'm just being transparent. Yeah. I was a victim of it. However, I had to learn that the constructive critiquing, it only helped me elevate. And if it hurted me, it helped me.
Right.
And that was the new way I had to take on something of that magnitude is not focusing on what the person said, but what if I took what the person said and actually applied it to how it can make me better? And that's the thing. We have to get out of the mindset of not being open-minded to new ideas, to fresh ideas, to fresh concepts, to fresh growth, to fresh movement.
Yes.
So we have to be willing and open to have that mindset to be able to take us and elevate us to the next level. Because the truth of the reality of it is, Cam, is that us as African Americans, we don't build businesses to be put into the Fortune 500 companies,
right,
or be in a Fortune 500 marketplace. We only build businesses because we want to make extra revenue, or we want to do something for the community, and that's great. But if you're not building your business to be in the Fortune 500, you may need to get somebody on your side as a mentor. Hey, I'm putting the plug out. Dr. CASUEL Pitts can help you as a mentor to help guide you and get your brand and get your business to the Fortune 500.
I love that. Let's talk a little bit about, and I hear this so often, I go to a Black-owned business and customer service is the issue.
Ooh, Cam, I'm gonna tell you the reason why customer service is the issue, Cam. Here's the reality of it. Is that, and this goes, it's not even just for African Americans,
no, it's
this
not.
is for all business owners.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say for all business owners, customer service is an issue, is because they don't allow, or they don't have a mechanism in place to allow every person that they hire take a personality test so they can properly position these individuals in the right places that they're supposed to be in.
Right.
That's the reason why they're having customer service issues, because you got John, whoever, on the phones when John is a mechanical person.
Right.
You got Sarah working the cash register when she wants to stop.
Right.
So you got all of these individuals that's discombobulated just in the wrong place. And then, Cam, the first thing they say when it's time for them to go home is, I hate this job. I can't stand this job. And see, as a founder of companies, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, I don't pay attention to the money that we're making. I pay attention to how my staff works and operates. What are their needs? What can we do differently to help them grow, to help educate them? You know, I've had a lot of my staff say, well, if we had a learning mechanism to teach us how to do this, okay, no problem. Let me put that in place for you.
Right.
Let me answer. And then now it's like, wow, you gave it to us. We were able to learn this and that. So the reason why customer service is an issue, Cam, is because the personality traits that some of the people that we hire and put in these positions are not correct. And here's the reality of it, Cam. We do that because we don't self-assess ourselves. We don't self-assess our own personality. Wow. We don't self-check ourselves when we throw on that suit and tie or that dress before we walk out of the house in the morning. We don't self-assess ourselves, Cam. So if our personality is jacked up, and guess what? It's going to flow over into our customer service. So it's a personality check.
Man, I tell you, Dr. CASUEL Pitts, how can people get in touch with you? Woo!
Absolutely, Cam. Well, listen, you guys, you can find me on all social media platforms. CASUEL Pitts, and that's spelled CASUEL Pitts. You can Google my name. You'll see a lot of the stuff to come up that I do within the communities, that I do within the world. I just love people, Cam. You know, so you guys can find me again, like on LinkedIn, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Anywhere you go, you can find me, because I want to make sure that people really get to understand what life is all about, what God is all about first and foremost, what entrepreneurship is all about. So for me, Cam, again, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, sir, I thank you and I love you to life for giving me the opportunity to express who I am and what I do.
Thank you so much, my friend. This is the end, but I appreciate you every time I call and I ask him to come on. He immediately says yes. Thank you, my friend, for everything. Love you for life. Take care. This is the end of the Cam Hill Show, but on tomorrow, I have Irvin Randall. You do not want to miss. He is a celebrity fashion model. You've got to come back. See you then, 12:30 Central. Bye.